PGA Tour Champions Learning Center. Brought to you by Tour Edge Exotics.
Hello again and welcome to Learning Center. I'm Vince Cellini, hoping you are safe and well wherever you are. And before the hiatus in golf and on PGA Tour Champions, this man was really one of the feel-good stories on the over 50 circuit. And he joins us from a remote location. Brett Quigley is with us. Brett, how are you? Where are you?
I'm great, Vince. Thankfully, I'm in Deer Lodge, Montana at Rock Creek Cattle Company. Great golf course, great place, with my family and another family out here. We've been here almost 2 weeks, kind of getting away from everything that's been going on with COVID and having a great family vacation and unfortunately getting to play some golf and practice golf.
Oh, good. So you are working some practice time in while you're on vacation.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. It's trying to stay sharp. And I'll get to that in a moment. But Brett, we saw the second week of that restart on the PGA Tour at the RBC Heritage at Harbortown. And it was interesting. Webb Simpson's the winner, but he had a couple of guys on PGA Tour Champions playing at the weekend. 62-year-old Bernhard Langer, Ernie Els made it to the weekend. So how about a little tip of the hat for the guys in your crew, huh?
Absolutely. And I played a little bit with Ernie during this our little break here down in Jupiter, and he's been playing some great golf too. And obviously Langer plays great every week, doesn't matter where he plays. Yeah,
but how about Ernie? I mean, he still looks like the Big Easy, does he not? I don't care. That swing hasn't aged at all.
Not at all, and he hasn't either. He's still a great player, a big guy, and he's certainly going to be a force to be reckoned with out there day in, day out.
Well, no question about it. So Langer and Els are both in the top 5 on the Charles Schwab Cup money list, as are you, thanks to your breakthrough victory at the Morocco Champions. And let's discuss that a little bit. And it comes in your second start on PGA Tour Champions. But before we get to the ins and outs of that, let's go back to the PGA Tour where you go over 400 starts without winning, and then you haven't won really since the Arkansas Classic back in 2001. Now, you're earning, but you're not winning. But what is that process like, and how do you keep your mindset in a really positive place regarding that?
Yeah, probably overall, looking back on it, I was probably trying too hard to force a result or force a win. And I think there are a lot of things that helped me get to a better place teeing it up in Morocco. One, I worked for Fox. I did some stuff for USJ and Fox and got to be on the ground inside the ropes and see players, in the lead or close to the lead and how they played. And I think that helped me better understand my game and what it took to win. And I think I always had this picture that you had to play perfect golf or hit great shots every single time. And I think that worked against me. I think I tried too hard or pressed too much and didn't really accept the golf. And I think watching that and talking about it on TV helped me gain perspective. So looking at the numbers, it looks like there's no way I could ever win a golf tournament. And then for me, doing it in Morocco, it wasn't a big deal. And I don't mean to downplay it saying winning's easy, because obviously it's not. But I just felt like I had a chance. I just felt like I was in a better place and had a better opportunity to win that golf tournament, even being 3 shots back going into the final round.
Yeah, it's interesting because other players have talked about doing TV work and how they have applied that to their own games, like Scott McCarron, Steve Flesch, guys like that, who almost step back from the game a little bit and then get a better vision of what they're seeing. It's sort of like almost a refresher course about the game. But you make it in to Morocco Champions just 10 days before the event due to your career money status on PGA Tour. So take me through prepping and getting ready for this and eventually winning on the continent of Africa.
It really is remarkable. 2 weeks before the tournament, actually 3 weeks before the tournament, I wasn't sure I was even going to play. And so I kind of looked at the list, and I knew I was in by maybe 2 guys. And fortunately, that hung on like a guy like David Toms or Steve Stricker. If they had committed to the tournament, I would have been out of the tournament. And it's funny, a couple weeks after I won, I saw David Toms, and I thanked him. I said, "Hey, thanks for not playing." Because it gave me the opportunity to play. And And literally about a week before, I said, nah, maybe I won't go, but I've got a passport. I've got a buddy that had come caddy for me. And then I said, you know what, just use it as a free week. Just go have fun and see how well I can play. And fortunately had a great week and played well, really. The last, I got off to a little rocky start the first day on the first 9 holes, a little bit of, I don't know if butterflies or anxious or just the normal nervousness of golf. But then played great from there on.
Yeah, and you talked about your mindset, how you tried too hard to win sometimes. Then you go into this one saying, I'm going to have fun, and let's see what happens, and you win. So it's quite a lesson there.
Absolutely.
The Morocco Champions win jumped you to second on the money list. And now the Schwab Cup, Brett, is going to be won in 2021. We have this carryover season. So what does that mean for you in terms of strategy, trying to stay on top? And I would think that, being more youthful at 50, that you're more geared for what this big stretch drive is going to be on PGA Tour Champions.
Yes, I'm ready for it. When I played on tour, I loved playing a lot of weeks in a row. So certainly with our compressed schedule, the rest of the year, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to playing and playing a bunch. And I've been playing and practicing almost every day since we've stopped. And I'm ready to go. So I'm certainly excited at the prospect of us starting again end of July in Michigan. So
when you practice like this during a hiatus, how do you what do you practice? I mean, how do you not over practice? Are there certain things that you want to keep sharp? What?
Yeah, for me it's putting and chipping, and also just working on rhythm of the golf swing, I'd say. I'm not a huge practicer. I'd say maybe 2 hours a day, but then I want to go play. So I want to see how, even playing a dollar Nassau or playing with buddies or whatever it is, you still have to hit shots that matter. And that helps me stay sharp and become a better player, hitting shots that matter, not just sitting on the range the entire day and pounding balls. That's just never been a great option for me. It's never made me play better golf.
Yeah, what fits you, that's for sure. So let's get to What's Your Edge, presented by Tour Edge Exotics. And one of the people, I understand, who helped you win in Morocco was a great NHL player, a Hall of Famer, in fact, Adam Oates, a Hall of Famer, player and coach, and really one of the great offensive players in the NHL during his career. And I remember him with the Blues and Brett Hull, the Hull and Oates combination. So can you share with our viewers what you worked on, what he helped you with to win?
He and I have been good friends for a long time, almost over 10 years, and he loves being around golf. Obviously an amazing athlete and amazing talent in the hockey world. But golf-wise, we work on more, I'd say how your frame or how your skeleton sits on your frame. I don't know if that makes sense, but just try to keep the body working correctly. So you look at a basketball player, there's a basic position for those guys when they're ready to start moving. A shortstop, a second baseman.
So an athletic position?
Position, yeah, I guess is a better way to say it. Not worry about the technical aspect of the golf swing, because everybody swings the club differently. You look at Jim Furyk, Ernie Els, anybody, me. They're all different ways to swing. John Daly, a lot of different ways to swing. A golf club. But to me, and Adam and I work on this, if you're in a proper position at the start of your swing, you're gonna swing better your swing. So you're gonna better be able to swing the club and return it to square, because that's what we're all trying to do is return that club face to the same position you started at the beginning of the swing. And we've worked a lot on that, and we've talked about the mentality of being in the moment, of what it takes to perform well when either you're anxious or the stakes are much higher.
That takes me to where you grew up in Rhode Island, and kind of you New England guys, you and Faxon and Andrade and Keegan Bradley, your Uncle Dana, and those. What is it about you guys? And is it that because of the weather there are other sports incorporated? And what is it that's sort of unique to you guys from that area of the country as players?
I think weather. think you hit a little bit on the head there, because whether we might have played 6 months a year, but it seems like almost everybody grew up playing other sports. So it wasn't, hey, you just played golf your whole life and that was it. You had other focuses, and you got to put the clubs down, which I think helps. Also, for me, seeing Brad and Billy make it was a big bonus, or a big boost for me to watch it, be like, okay, I can do this. I've seen them do it, and now I know they're great players, but I've played a lot with them, and hey, they're no different than anybody else. So I think it really worked well, seeing other guys do it, and then say, hey, you know what? If they can do it, I can do it. And don't mean that in a negative way, as far as they're not great players. They're amazing players, but it's like, hey, you can do this. Little guys, we're from small towns, small state, and New England, and you can make it in the professional world. And it was more of a boost rather than saying, hey, it's unusual to do it. It was commonplace.
You mean you New England guys had a little quiet confidence and a little chip on your shoulder, maybe? That never happens.
Maybe just a little.
Yeah, I don't see that much. So I talked about you growing up in Rhode Island, and this week was supposed to be the U.S. Senior Open taking place at historic Newport Country Club in Newport, Rhode Island. Unfortunately, we had a cancellation there. How disappointed were you, and can you see the championship circling back to this wonderful venue eventually?
Extremely disappointed is an understatement. I know I talked to Brad and Billy, and just such a bummer to have the opportunity to play that great golf course, that unbelievable venue in our home state, and then have it be canceled. Yeah, was just so disappointing. Certainly this week, it was funny to wake up this morning thinking about that. Or would have been in Newport getting ready for the Senior Open. But I don't know about if they're going to be able to circle back. I know Faxon had talked about maybe 2 or 3 years, depending on the rotation. Hopefully that happens, because it's such a special golf course place, with the first amateur, the first Open having been played there in 1895. It's a cool golf course, and I'm sure it's in perfect condition.
Yeah, it really is a beautiful place. I did not cover that original Open. But this is also Travelers Championship week on PGA Tour, and at that event back in 1982, what were you, 12 years old, and you caddied for your Uncle Dana Quigley, who ends up firing a 61. So you talked about being inspired by fellow players. What do you remember about that particular day, and what did you take with you for yourself as a player?
It's funny, that week we stayed in Rhode Island. So Dana lived in Rhode Island at the time, and it was about a 2-hour drive, and he didn't have any money. So we drove back and forth every night. I remember he had an old Dodge pickup truck that was built. The back was built with shelves where he had his golf clubs, golf shoes. So he literally lived out of that thing.
That's awesome.
But he made the cut on the number. So we drove home Friday night, and we drove back Saturday morning early. It was one of the first tee times. And he shot 61. And honestly, I remember one eagle putt. I was tending the pin, and back in the day, I remember watching the caddies on tour. They'd hold that pin like this, and they'd watch the putt come right up to the hole, and they'd rip the flag out at the end. And I was holding the flag, and Dana's yelling, "Take it out, because he thought I was going to leave it in. And I don't remember if the putt went in or not, but I remember him yelling at me to take the flag out as I was tending it. But one more thing, on the second hole is a par 5. I think it was Weathersfield Golf Club, and Cobra had just come out with this baffler. It was 2 rails on the bottom of the club. Mm-hmm. And Dana always hit it low. And the second hole, he drove in the fairway. He was trying to hit this baffler for the second shot, and he dead topped it. So he just rolled the golf ball down, 200 yards down the fairway, hit sandwich on the green 20 feet, and made the putt for birdie. And then he was off to the races. So I remember getting yelled at, and I remember him topping a shot, and he shot 61. Other than that, the rest is a blur.
So how is he doing? I understand he had a little medical procedure over the winter. Not little, but
little. They bone sawed his chest open, but he had a little bit of a heart issue. I told him that he was lucky that they found a heart in him. But he's doing well. I know he's in the beginning he was really in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. But he's recovered well from that. He's back playing golf every day. Imagine that. And overall doing great.
He wrote a really an amazing golf story as a guy who won some local tournaments, and then he gets on PGA Tour Champions and wins 11 times, wins a money title. And I'm wondering, you know, the tour is this second chance opportunity for everybody. It's like this chance to rewrite it, and you're a winner there too. Do you see yourself as sort of this next chapter, or you know, this addendum to who Brett Quigley is?
I hope so. I mean, I feel like I've worked hard the last 3 to 5 years to try to get ready for this, and again, realized I always thought my job was an opportunity. I mean, I was fortunate to play on the PGA Tour for 14 years. Yes, disappointed I never won. Fortunately, played some pretty good golf during that time, but yeah, I'm viewing this as another opportunity to have a better career.
No, it's amazing. You're really a great story. And as a New England guy, I assume you're a Patriots fan, right?
Well, that's an interesting question. So does the allegiance lie with the Patriots or with Tom Brady? And it's just, as a fan, it's disappointing to see what's happened in the last 3 months, 6 months with the Patriots and Brady. And where they're going. So it'll be interesting to see when that season starts, what happens. I know Faxon and I have talked about getting season tickets with a couple other buddies over in Tampa. So maybe we'll be watching some Bucs games. I mean, it's hard not to like Brady and his work ethic and everything that he's brought to New England.
Of course. Well, New England roots run deep. I don't have to tell you that. So, you know, wherever you have a chance to watch him, that's where your allegiance lies. Brett, it was really fun speaking with you, and I can't wait to see you get back out there and keep the momentum going. You're a great story, and you're a good guy. So thank you for the time.
Thank you, Vince. Yeah, it's been fun.